Hey everyone, and thanks for watching another Top & Go update. As you may have noticed, this week we have the Top & Go update in the middle of the week instead of the other 99 in the middle of the week. But not to fret, we're going to have the Arcanus episode of the other 99 at the end of this week, where the Top & Go update would usually be. The reason for that is just because life just happens, and just gotta get stuff done, and who the heck schedules tests a week after spring break? I mean, seriously. Anyway, last week, the Sorin vs. Tibalt deck lists were released. Now, there's nothing in this pack that just makes it a must-buy for Commander players, but there are several reprints of cards with new art and new borders that are really going to be sweet. Let's just take some time to take a look at a few of these. And the first card we're going to look at is Death Grasp. Now, this card is pretty sweet. It was originally printed in Apocalypse, where you had the sweet Urza versus Gerard battle happening, so that was pretty cool. But I really do like this new artwork done by Raymond Swanland. The new flavor text and the new border also look really sweet on it. And as far as the card goes, it's a really solid card. A lot of Black X cards that drain life require you to have swamps or to use black mana. Whereas this one, even though it's black-white, can use any mana. Plus, it can hit creatures, whereas a lot of the drain life spells in black can only hit players. Next up is Sulfuric Vortex. Now, this card isn't necessarily played in a lot of different decks, but I play it in my Zozu deck, and I love it. It doesn't have new art or anything, but the new border on it looks frickin' sweet. We're also getting a modern frame Tainted Field. I really love that Wizards is reprinting these old lands and giving them new borders and making them more available to newer players. I mean, they're not the best lands in the world, but they're still really cool, and it's just really cool to see them reprinted and to be even more available now. And finally, we have a black-white all-star removal spell, Mortify. I mean, look at that artwork. Just look at it. That is awesome. And the new Sorin flavor text is so cool. So as far as Sorin vs. Tibalt goes, there's some pretty good cards for Commander, and it's definitely worth looking into. Next up, I have a really exciting announcement for you guys. A lot of people have told us that their friends were the ones who showed them Top & Go Productions, and I think a lot of our audience has spread that way. Well, if you have friends that you really want to tell about Top & Go Productions, we may just have a really cool way for you to do that. Also, if you've ever wanted a Kiki-Jiki token for your Kiki-Jiki, then we have something for that too. Coming up very soon, we're going to have Top & Go Productions token cards that are actually the tokens that Kiki-Jiki produces whenever he copies something. On the front, it's just going to look like a token. But on the back, it's going to have all kinds of info on Top & Go Productions, on where to follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, on Tumblr, all those sorts of things. Now, the token isn't finished yet, but I do have the artwork for the token to show you guys. And so, here it is. Isn't that artwork great? I don't care what any of you guys say, that artwork is badass. I mean, it has the dragon from the original Kiki-Jiki art on it. And, of course, a Sensei's Divining Top. Since, you know, it's Top & Go Productions. The artwork was done by Derfington, and as a lot of you guys know, he's an awesome comic artist. You should definitely check out Derping Around. It's hilarious, lots of fun. I have a link down in the description. Go click on it. Brianna and I are, in fact, going to be handing these tokens out at Grand Prix Las Vegas and Grand Prix Kansas City. If you can't make it to Grand Prix Las Vegas or Grand Prix Kansas City to get the tokens, not to fret. We're going to have a downloadable version of the token that you can print out, hand to your friends, or just keep all to yourself. Doesn't matter. So, I'm really excited about that. I think it's going to be awesome. Last week we asked you guys, if you were introducing a new player to the Commander format, what are some of the best pieces of advice you'd give them? Mr. Zoichi wrote, my advice to this person would be, do something you have fun doing. If you like to mill, control, club someone's dome in, have lots of mana, then do it. And go overboard with it and build around it. Do whatever you have always wanted to do and find ways to make it easier to do just that. Commander is all about the most ludicrous interactions you can imagine. I could not agree more. Out of all the Magic formats, I think Commander is the one that really allows you to do whatever you want to do. Really use your imagination in deck building and make something that's truly your own. Red Lex Luthor wrote, pick a general that you like. Look at what other people have done with its abilities for inspiration, and see if there's any neat little interactions you can think of, and load the deck with synergy instead of just good stuff. Don't forget that the primary function of Commander is to have fun. If you're not having fun playing your deck, then it's time to go back to the drawing board. Try to play fast, or have cards that don't stall the game for hours. More games equals more fun and memories. I really like the comment about the neat little interactions. I mean, sure, anyone can build a deck by throwing in a bunch of good stuff, but it really takes some thought and time to put together a deck that has synergy and interaction and all those kinds of things. And finally, I think the most creative advice came from S. Morgenstern 73. Imagine a large battlefield with fortresses dotted along the edges. The generals might be perched in roosts along the ramparts, or deep in the basement working on chemical weapons. One fortress opens, and out of the doors come gigantic swinging monsters. followed by the gate of another being eaten away by and overflowing with rats. A mage of a third sees all this and casts propaganda effects. EDH is war. Choose to wage it as you wish. I really like this explanation. It was really vivid and imaginative, so good on you. This week's question comes from YouTube from Ted Durbin 202, and he asks a pretty simple question. What's your favorite legendary creature? Leave your answers down in the comment section below. And if you'd like your question to be asked on the Top Go Update, post it on our Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or on our Tumblr page. Also, next week, look forward to having a special joint effort between me and the other 99, and Brian and Commanding on a Budget. We're going to have 2 decks for 1 general from Innistrad, so look forward to that. Well guys, that's it for this Top Go Update. I'm Karsten with Go Productions, and as always, thanks for watching.